The biggest war in the history of ELBAF. Hello One Piece enthusiasts, I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about Loki and the biggest war in ELBAF. With the chapter introduction of 1130, Loki got introduced, and he seems awesome. Now, to correct myself from my last video, I said that Loki was looking for a devil fruit that would make him sun god, but no, he has a devil fruit that powers... He has powers that makes him think he is the sun god. Now, without that, let's not get into that, but the point is, guy is looking for trouble. And I expect something big to go down. Before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Now that you have, let's begin. Now Luffy. Luffy was the first person to meet Loki, who is literally trapped under 1,000 layer of sea prism stone. And so he's literally the last person on Earth you would want Loki to meet. Loki being the insurmountable monster he is, because as we know, he undeaded his father to get his devil fruit, and it took the entirety of the giants to pin him down. And that tells you something. We already know the strength of Dory and Brogy. Dory and Brogy are, if not strong as an emperor, but definitely as strong as a Yonko commander. And I'm sure Dory and Brogy aren't the strongest ones in ELBAF. Of course, aside from Loki. Point is, there are a handful of others more who are stronger, if not equal to Dory and Brogy's power. And you'd guess 50, 60, 70 of them. And that's what it took to pin Loki down. You expect the man to have amazing powers. Now, as for what his devil fruit could be, I need some more time as to analyze this entire thing, but I can definitely say for sure, if that man does escape, it's going to be an eternity of hell. Now, we already know there's going to be a war after the One Piece is found, but that's not the war we're talking about. We're talking about literal war on ELBAF, and in maybe 50 odd chapters. I expected ELBAF to be a running arc. You know, we would just go there, meet the giants, meet Saw, get the poneglyph, find the man marked by flames, and walk away from it. But with the introduction of Loki and the lore he's set up, I expect something big. And of course, Luffy being Luffy, Loki is so strong that his tremors are basically felt all throughout ELBAF, and even Luffy could feel it. So he's pretty strong. And if someone like that does get released, and I'm guessing he has the power of a mythical zone, at this point Logias don't seem to be the creme of the crop when it comes to devil fruits. It's mythical zones and their awakenings, that's what makes things so interesting. And I'm sure Loki has one of them. But that's not the point. The point is, Luffy is going to release Loki. And I can sort of see that coming because of Luffy's carefree nature and because of the way Loki is. And without Luffy really helping Loki to get out, you don't really see another way of Loki getting out, and this entire meeting would basically be pointless if Luffy doesn't get him out. Him being the warrior of liberation who helps people get free, and Loki surrounded by little chains just trapped in a cage, you see the worst case scenario. And if that does happen, you already see a setup between the person who thinks he is the sun god to bring the destruction of the world, but the real sun god is already there with the sun god fruit trying to liberate. Now, it'd be very ironic if Luffy does end up making his, biggest mistake in the history of his career of being a pirate. Of course, one being letting Caribou go. Make sure to go check that one out because I made it a long time ago, and it's all coming true. But yeah, if he does end up releasing Loki, that'll be his probably second biggest mistake he ever made. And you can already see that coming. If Loki does escape, I'm already sure that Loki has a bunch of followers, because what would be a man with power and influence, with power and ambition, who doesn't have followers? Even people like Doflamingo and Kaido had followers. What makes you think Loki is different? And I'm already sure things are already brewing in the background of ELBAF, where people are in support of Loki and is actively trying to make sure that Loki gets out of there so that he can fulfill his dreams, and the people of ELBAF, those who do support him, would want that. So you see this thing building up. I'm sure we'll get to see more of a introspective onto the culture of ELBAF and Loki's influence on the entire thing, and of course, ELBAF politics. But that aside, you already know Loki has followers who are ready to fight when he gets out. You already know the Luffy and Loki meeting is a worst case scenario, and Loki is getting out of there, and if he does get out of there, it's going to be all hell breaking loose. And that's how I expect the whole ELBAF war arc to go down if it does go down. If there's any place where a war would start right now, where a character like Loki does exist, it's ELBAF. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Now, as to what this war is about, Loki probably wants to do the thing that Kaido did, bring in destruction. But rather than having layers like the way Kaido did, when he was explaining, he was talking about Joy Boy bringing the dawn and whatever, Loki doesn't care about all of that. He cares about the destruction of the war. He is very straightforward, and I really like that about him. And I'm guessing he'll do exactly that if he does end up getting out. And I like to see that dimension in a villain who just wants pure chaos. Now, as to his backstory, as to why he wants what he wants, it'd be another deep dive analysis into the future, but we need to see more of Loki to do that. That's it for the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Will there be a war? And I think Luffy will release him. Do you guys think Luffy will release him? And if so, what goes down? That's it for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.